you're stuck in a style rut,
I'm just not brave enough.
you have come to the right place because I've got the perfect people for the job.
How does it feel?
Feels good.
That is such a wicked outfit.
Confidence is through the roof now. This is clothes shopping like you've never experienced before.
Look good, feel great. Brand new, you are what you wear.
Worship me.
Starts day or time, BBC One and iPlayer.
Good afternoon. My name is Kat Farmer, and I am the author, and I am one of the stylists from You Are What You Wear. I am also the author of the upcoming book Get Changed, and an Instagram and Facebook influencer through my account Does My Bum Look 40, where I actively enable women to feel good about their fashion choices, regardless of their style, size, or budget. We are here to mark Mental Health Awareness Week, and we all know what an important topic mental health is. And like everyone else in this panel, I firmly believe in the power of the clothes and that fashion is a manifestation of who you are. So I am delighted to welcome you to this afternoon's session as part of Wellbeing Live for Mental Health Awareness. We are going to be looking at how fashion and what you wear can contribute to how you feel and to a better self or a sense of self-esteem. Before we start though, I would like to introduce you to the panelists, who are my colleagues and friends from You Are What You Wear. Now, we are all here today because we are passionate supporters of good mental health. So first up, Darren Kennedy.
Hey,
now, Darren is, I have to read this because it's just so good, a fashion stylist, writer, presenter who has hosted shows and segments for Channel 5, BBC, ITV and RTE. Also founder of Kennedy & Co Grooming and has his own line in suiting and outerwear. Welcome, Darren. Darren, say hi.
Hi, Kat. I have to say, you'd know you've got an Irish husband with how you pronounced RTE.
Oh, it's in the blood. It's in the blood.
Listen, great to be here today. I think mental health, as we all know, is something that has affected us hugely this year, and I'm delighted that we guys, we can regroup and share a little bit of sartorial help. Brilliant.
Next up, we have the amazing Nana. So Nana is a London-based fashion and celebrity stylist with over a decade's experience in the industry. She currently holds the role of celebrity style editor at Fabulous magazine, Britain's best-selling Sunday supplement. Nana styles for red carpet events such as the NTA's Brits, MOBO Awards, GQ Awards, and various film premieres. She's also worked on the X Factor as a celebrity stylist. Say hi, Nana.
Hello, Kat. How are you?
Really good.
Good. Thank you so much for how so nice to obviously have us all back together and be here and talk about a really important subject of mental health and how we can help with fashion.
Brilliant. I cannot wait to see what I come up with. I can see a rail of gorgeousness behind you.
All right.
But next up, finally, and last but not least, we have the amazing Joey Bevan. So Essex-born Joey, if you didn't know, you will in about 2 seconds, is an experienced wardrobe stylist and art editor and producer and has over 15 years experience within the film, fashion, beauty, TV, music industries. So he's worked with a multitude of celebrities, including Lady Gaga, Beyonce, and His Royal Highness, Prince Charles. Joey, I'm sure you've got some stories to tell. How are you doing?
I'm great, babes. How are you? Long time no see. Good?
Good. So, Joey, do you know what though? I did want to ask you, why did you want to be here today? I want to come to you first because, I just want you to tell us. I know what you've been going through in lockdown. Can you just give us a little bit more info?
So I've suffered with mental health issues with anxiety, and I also have PTSD. So the last year has been rather tough for me because I was on my own for the whole lockdowns, all of them. So I just wanted to come here today because I'm very open as a mental health activist to discuss and see how we can make people feel better with clothes. Because I always say, if you look drabby, you're going to feel drabby, and people are going to see you as drabby, and nobody wants to be drabby.
Absolutely brilliantly put. Right, Darren. So I know this is something that is really, really important to you too. Can you give me an example of how people say that you've changed their life?
I was thinking about this before we went on, and obviously, you know, even during the course of filming "You Are What You Were," we had such phenomenal stories. But going back to the early days when I first went out solo on my own as a stylist, I remember this lady called me. She sent me an email, and really, this email I could tell that this woman was at the depths of despair and her confidence was rock bottom. So I arranged a call with her. Again, the same vibe came through. Still hadn't laid eyes on this lady. So I'd arranged to go up. The first part of their process was I was going to visit her in her home to kind of dissect her wardrobe and see where she's at. And essentially, her story was she worked in a very male-dominated environment, tech sales, always kind of felt it was tough, but then had left, gone on maternity leave, and was really worried about going back. And I guess her mental state at that time was suffering. It wasn't its most robust. So I opened the door she opened the door when I arrived up to her, and I was confronted with this lady who I thought is an absolute knockout. I mean, essentially a Halle Berry lookalike. And I was like, wow, how you described yourself to me is completely different from what I see. And through working with her over a period of weeks and helping her get her mojo back in terms of style, it really was the armor that she kind of created for herself to get back out there. And as Joey referenced there a few minutes ago, it is, you know, I firmly believe that if you feel good in what you wear, and you look in the mirror and creates a positive kind of impression for yourself, well, the energy around you and around your life just changes. Oh, there we go. I'm surprised it's not my dog. The energy then, you know, the energy that you're bringing to the world, and we've all become so aware of energy and the power of the energy and the power of our intentions, the power of our thoughts. So like if you take it, like I think actually clothing and the impact I can have is actually a really basic one. And in the first lockdown, when I was climbing the walls and I live alone and was locked down with my dog, Harry, thank God, I remember one day feeling absolutely really crappy. My mental health, I think, was in the gutter. And I just felt really down. And I'd say depressed. And I'm not someone who genuinely suffers from depression. And I remember saying to myself, right, something has to change. I'm not letting this continue go down. I was in sweatpants. So I went into my wardrobe and I literally assembled an outfit that was, you know, suitable for the south of France. I had a pair of white trousers. I got my loudest, most colorful lemon and lime printed shirt and a pair of moccasins. And I just was like, okay, now we're back. And for me, that works. It's not going to work for everyone, but I think it's something we can all incorporate.
Right, Nana, can we come to you now? How did lockdown treat you, Nana? Did you spend every single day in a tracksuit like the rest of us?
I was the exception to the rule, I believe. I got up every day during lockdown and got dressed exactly how I am now. Jewelry on, makeup, dress, heels, most importantly. I think people thought I was crazy for just wearing heels around my house. But for me, that is what helped me mentally, because had it been me slobbing around in loungewear, I do think I just would have become really kind of like defeated or possibly depressed, whereas clothes are so important to me and my self-expression. Even though I was just in the house, I had to get dressed like I was going to work every day, like I was going to be seeing friends, even if seeing friends was just on Zoom at that point. It was really, really important for me to carry on being in my normal kind of like everyday wear. The only time I wore loungewear was kind of like at weekends or in the evening, so that I had the separation from day to night.
And I need to ask you, where are you at the minute? Because that's not That's not in your house, is it? That's not your wardrobe.
No, this is not my wardrobe. I'm coming live from the fabulous fashion cupboard, which has just got, this isn't even the half of it, but like a multitude of clothes. So this is my day to day, basically. I'm back in the office now, which is great because I've got my fashion cupboard at my disposal with all of my clothes for my photo shoots.
Brilliant. So we've seen that you are at work, and obviously other people are at work. Things are starting to open up again. We are able to go out. And the biggest question that I think everybody wants to know about fashion, what do we wear? Nana, come on, what do we wear? People have lived in tracksuits, apart from you, for pretty much the last 15 months. Where do we start?
I think let's not put too much pressure on ourselves. That needs to be the first thing that I would advise anyone. Yes, we are coming out of lockdown, but that's fine. Like, it's something to get excited about. Get excited about fashion again. For me, I'm just gonna kind of go back here and grab some pieces. So I've got this gorgeous, I don't know if you can see that there. This is a really nice lemon 2-piece here. I think it's for spring, summer, a really great time to start incorporating more colour into your wardrobe. And obviously, we're not seeing the sun at the moment. Why not wear the colour of the sun instead?
Love it. Brilliant suggestion. Joey, what would your suggestion be?
I think for me, I've gone for colour. I think we've been saying that I was the opposite of Nana when I was in lockdown, and I literally was in hoodies and shorts, mostly boxer shorts, even on Zoom calls. And I just kind of concentrated on the banana bread, growing tomatoes, and being a fabulous, almost like an American Southern woman. But I've gone for a bit of colour because, like Nana said, I think we've been living through probably one of the worst winters I think I've ever been through. It was awful. So I've gone for pinks, pastel greens. Green is going to be massive for next summer, spring, summer. So I always like to look at trends that are coming out with trend forecasting and kind of put a hint in there. So with some of the stuff that I've got, which I'll go through for like the weddings and bits and bobs, I've got pinks, a lot of like mint greens. And I just think just have some fun with colour. We've been living behind lockdown, and I do think it's about time that even if you wear black, get out of the black.
Brilliant. On to the first question from the audience. This is something that I'm sure many of us are familiar with. Some of us have put on some extra pounds during lockdown. Nothing fits. What, Darren, should we be doing? What should we be wearing to make ourselves feel confident again when nothing that we own actually fits properly?
Well, I think the first thing is to be kind to yourself. And you know, we all sometimes the narrative that we tell ourselves is, oh, it doesn't fit, or you're focusing on a number, be it the size of your clothing or the weight that the scales is telling you. So just be kind to yourself is the first thing I'd say. And then be clever. And it's all about, you know, I don't necessarily feel it's about investing in a brand new wardrobe. It's just being smart about how you're assembling outfits. Now, I've chosen some clothes from my own wardrobe just to illustrate a few ideas. So particularly I've noticed, and I've been told, a lot of guys are telling me, you know, the gut has maybe gotten a bit bigger than they had hoped. And it's understandable. You know, we've been stress eating. We haven't necessarily been able to do the things we want to do. Take it easy. But I think a great way of doing that is with shirts, right? So this season, you know, for men, kind of striped shirts, floral shirts, anything that has a bit of color in it always catches my eye, but it's always a good one. So I'm going to start with this one, right? So see this shirt. This is kind of like one of my go-to summer shirts. It's that pale blue and kind of almost pink stripe. And that's what I want to start with here. A vertical stripe is an amazing way at kind of stretching your body, literally visually making you look longer. And for any guy who maybe has gained a few pounds, what I'd advise is wear this open and then layer underneath either with a vest or just a plain white t-shirt. And then what you're doing is, again, we're visually kind of breaking up the construct that we see in front of us. And if you imagine a little white vest or t-shirt underneath this, it creates a little block. And visually, that's kind of telling us, oh, that's the stomach. It's a tiny little area there. And then we've got the rest of the fabric and the stripes just acting to bring the eye down the body as opposed to across the body. So you just want to be careful when you're wearing stripes. It's not always the case, but a horizontal stripe can, depending on its thickness, make you look a little bit wider. And if that's not what you want, don't wear them.
Brilliant. So really weirdly, I'm just going to do something for women, because actually we are both exactly on the same wavelength. It's all about disguising what you've got. So for me, it's about wearing something in a sort of in a tunic fabric. Very similarly, all the messages I've had have been about the gut area. That is where people are carrying it. So it's basically wear something that's fluid. Ideally, if you can find something that's sheer, it's brilliant. So it doesn't look heavy. It's not going to look like you're wearing a tent. You will still see the silhouette of your figure, but it's not going to cling to you. So that definitely would be my my top tip for just hiding those lockdown pounds, you know, just for the foreseeable future. Now, moving on to something slightly more exciting, dare I say, the wedding. So we have a question from Zara, who is going to a wedding, a small wedding, obviously 30 people. Nana, what should she be wearing?
So I have got this fantastic silk purple dress with some really cute button detail here, but also a really nice slit detail, so she can obviously show some leg. But as it is a wedding, obviously we want to be quite conservative, so we've got a high neck and really good sleeves on this for anyone that doesn't like their arms, essentially. And I love the fact that you can easily dress this up with accessories. She can have some really nice heels on with it as well. I've also got this little clutch bag to go with it that goes around the hand. And I just think weddings are going to be kind of like more intimate this year. So even though you want to kind of make a statement, this is just, yeah, the perfect dress to do it in. This is from ASOS, by the way.
Brilliant. Joey, I'm sure you have some ideas for what Zara can be wearing to her little intimate cozy wedding.
Yeah, so I've gone for, similar to Nana, I've gone for a pastel. Because of last spring, summer, we had a pastel store and it's also gone on to this year. And I feel like we missed a lot of last year's fashion. So I've gone for, straight off the hanger. So the things I've gone for, I've got a mood board as well, if you want to get that up to give you guys some inspiration for how I put looks together. I normally go, you could do it on apps and things like that. But yeah, so I've got a mood board, but I've gone for this kind of like cute neoprene, but it's like a really thin neoprene because I know it's going to be summer, spring, but I've gone for this really cute sort of like play on a sort of wedding dress or a guest dress. I've also gone for something a little bit maybe for somebody who's a little bit more wants to cover up because they've put on a bit of weight around their arms. I've put weight on around my arms, bingo wings, my boobs and my gut. So this is really great because it comes in at just under, so like an empire line, just underneath the breasts. It's got loads of beautiful embellishments. So I kind of really liked this as another option. I also went for a yellow handbag, Nana. I went for this little glamorous one. I've gone very sort of like Jackie O, very 60s with the kind of stuff I've gone with a little bit hint to the 70s. And then if you want to go all out, then I've got this beautiful pleated, it's like a metallic pink jumpsuit. And then just team it up with simple things like a nice pair of shoes, bag, or go really glam like these. You can't really see them, but they're like a yellow and pink with beading, and it's like a fabric. It's beautiful. I feel like we need to go a little bit glam, but not take away from the fact it's an intimate wedding.
Joey, can anybody do a mood board? I mean, I know we all know how to do them, but where would you advise someone to start for them to do a mood board for themselves?
I've used the same app. So I've got this app and I just literally, it's like a collage app, and you can get, there's thousands of them available. They're really good to build up on mood boards and stuff. And also the best thing about a mood board is if you're going shopping and if you're like me, you get distracted by all the pretty things. If you stick to that, you've got it on your phone, you can go, right, I need to look for things like this. So it keeps you regimented and makes shopping easier, especially if you've got an event to go to or if you've got an idea. And it inspires you to have a look through. Pinterest board, just do a Pinterest board.
Brilliant. Now, moving on to something that's perhaps not as cheerful as a wedding, I know that lots and lots of people during lockdown have separated from their partners. And that puts you in a really, really tricky situation. Lots of questions we had from people who have loads of things to wear in their wardrobe, but they really want to reinvent themselves. So I thought, my advice to them would be, rather than throw out the baby with the bathwater and get rid of everything that you own, which you do probably love, but it just actually reminds you of a time that you might not be wanting to be reminded of, I would suggest just throwing in some extra things to elevate your outfit. So be it things like, and we're all on the same wavelength here, I'm going to go for colour. Just things that you can wear again and again and again. So be it, you might always buy white trainers, buy a pair of green trainers, just to make your outfit that little bit different. Instead of a black handbag, what about a red handbag? Alternatively, the ultimate in neutral, a leopard handbag. When we're thinking about sandals, maybe you're thinking, oh, I've got all these dresses, summer dresses that I've worn for years. I want something new. Don't go and buy a pair of black sandals. Look at us. We're all on the same wavelength. Yellow. This is completely unrehearsed as well. We didn't know that we were all going to champion yellow. Maybe it's because it reminds us of the sun. It reminds us of that smiley, happy face. It's just something that's a little bit more cheerful to put into your wardrobe, because there is no point wasting a wardrobe of clothes that you love. Nana, what would you say? Have you got some yellow shoes as well?
I mean, I haven't got yellow shoes, but I do have a yellow blazer. So this is actually, I've got multiple colour blazers. Like, it wasn't actually just going to be yellow, but obviously that I'm all about the colour. So my advice would be, blazers are just such a key piece to have in any wardrobe, and are really versatile to wear with lots of different things. So obviously you've got all of these different colours here, with a white t-shirt, just plain jeans, that chucked over the top, you've completely elevated your look instantly with that. So I just think just one little piece there of a blazer, invest in that, get that in your wardrobe, and instantly that's a real mood lifter.
Brilliant. Right, so now we've got a question from Letitia, who is 50, and Letitia is concerned that she has reached an age where there are certain things that she shouldn't be wearing. Darren, what do you have to say to Letitia?
Well, I just put on my poppy yellow. I'm like, the acid pops of yellow, pink, blue. I'm living for them at the moment. Anyway, Letitia, sorry, remind me the question.
Can Letitia, at the age of 50, wear a yellow hoodie? No, seriously, it was, Letitia is 50. She wants to know, is there anything that she can or cannot wear? Are there rules when it comes to age?
Do you know what? I really don't believe there are rules when it comes to fashion, because it's all about expressing yourself. However, what I will say, and maybe a good kind of note to bear in mind, is the shapes you wear and the cuts you wear may change. And I even know that myself. Obviously as trend comes round, how fabric and trousers and tops are cut changes. So you really need to know what works for you. So what you could have maybe worn in your 20s, drain pipe skinny trousers or flares or whatever it is, may not work for you in your 50s. So it's about understanding your own body and your own shape. But I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a rule, you shouldn't wear X. I mean, we all know the obvious one, skirt length or dress length. I mean, you just need to gauge it. It's about, I always think I'd rather look chic, sophisticated and demure rather than someone who's trying to cling on to a time gone past. Sorry, Cass! No, you know what I mean? And unless you've got the best pair of pins in the world, at a certain time, you kind of, and I'm even the same. Listen, guys looking at fashion as well. Like, I was doing a thing on shorts recently, and a lot of shorts for men are getting shorter and shorter by the minute.
Right, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off right there. You need to stop talking now. I totally get what you're saying. And do you know what? Well, you probably to have asked me 20 years ago when I was 28, I'm sure I would have agreed, because you are obviously a lot younger than me. But at 48, and actually having, do you know what? Embracing everything that is in fashion right now, and the fact that I genuinely think there aren't any rules when it comes to age. It is literally just a number. And I honestly think that it's nothing to do with your number. I mean, we don't look in the back of our thing and have a number of our age, do we? It's to do with style. And you touched on that, definitely.
No,
it's to do with
you're saying exactly what I said. It's basically, you go for it, but it's about understanding if a trend comes in that is very much geared towards, you know, that basically, if you think a trend comes in and it's not going to suit you, I would say don't wear it. Do what makes you feel good.
And I think, though, that holds true whether you are 32, 42, 52, 82. I don't think age has anything to do with it. So I don't have anything with regards to demonstrate what you should and shouldn't wear. The things that I am commonly asked about are skirt length, skirt length, hair length, leopard, leather, all sorts of things. So I just genuinely don't think that there is anything you can't wear, so long as you look in the mirror and you love what looks back. That, I think, is the most important thing.
Same goes for size as well. You are not a number. Stop looking at the size in there. As long as it fits you, it doesn't matter. Stop looking at numbers, ages, dress sizes. It's stupid.
Yeah, right. Okay. So think about that. Nana, I want to come to you. What are your things that you wear that help you feel good? So that make you look in the mirror and think, yeah, today, this is all.
Well, I can actually, I don't know, I'll stand up for a little bit if you can see. This dress is bright blue, very printed. There's a bit of leopard print on the bottom. Basically, anything for me that involves colour, print. I love super high heels, gold jewellery. That is me looking in the mirror saying, I'm ready to take on the world.
Brilliant. And whilst we're here talking about all your colour, we've had a question come in from the audience. Yes. Where is good to go on the high street for colour blazers? Where are your go-to places?
Oh my gosh. So go-to places, French Connection, H&M, ASOS, River Island, and other stories.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much. Now, Joey, coming to you, what are the things that you look in the mirror and think, I feel great today?
My hair. I love my hair, but if it's anything to do with fashion, I think it's more about proportions for me. So if I'm looking at something, can I balance out? Because I'm like a 46-inch chest, big chest, like a rugby player, extra large, but I've got very slim legs. So I need to balance out. And luckily, skinny trousers have started to go out a little bit and more of a wider leg, which I never thought I would wear because I am a skinny trouser Vans kind of boy, Essex boy as well. So we only wear skinny jeans. But I like the idea that I'm balancing out my frame by going for a more regular fit jean or trouser. So it's actually been a lot more of my confidence. And also I've gained weight, Kat, during this. And you know, I lost 6 stone and then I put on another 2 stone. So I know just lockdown's been difficult for a lot of people. So for me, it's just going through my stuff, and thank God that we've had, you know, a couple of years of oversized stuff because it still fits. But yeah, other than that, it's all good.
Brilliant. Now, one of the things that we all bought, apart from Nana, during lockdown was loads and loads of loungewear. And one of the questions we were asked is, how do you style up your loungewear? Now, personally, I can't stop wearing it. Nana, you're going to be horrified, but I cannot stop wearing it. And I've actually just bought some more. I mean, who does that coming out of lockdown? But I have discovered the knitted, and I did discover it before, but I just discovered the knitted tracksuit. I'm going to tracksuit, leisure wear, athleisure wear. But the way I love to wear it and make it a little bit more smart is by that juxtaposition of something that's really casual. So like a leisure wear outfit, which comes with the matching. I have lived in these, is with a blazer. Just throw a blazer on. A blazer with a hoodie just completely elevates it. A pair of slightly, I mean, I love these, little trainers, complete classic. The other thing you could look for is a new style denim jacket. So for years, we've all been wearing the shorter trucker style jacket. The shacket is in. It's very, very in. So a longer line style jacket, amazing if you put on a couple of pounds and you know you're looking to hide them. These are absolutely brilliant. But this over your loungewear just elevates it and makes it out of the house wearable, which isn't actually a phrase, but it should be. So who is going to also talk to us about this? Go, Darren.
You know what, Kat? Okay, so this absolutely wasn't rehearsed, but we're on the same page 100%. And I actually picked up this blazer. It's a navy blazer. Can you see the texture? So it's a wool, deconstructed, unlined blazer. So it means it's got soft shoulders. And this exactly will wear, I've worn this over like a marl grey hoodie and a pair of marl grey track bottoms. And it just adds a lovely little... I guess it elevates your tracksuit bottom to something a little bit more zhuzhy when I'm going out and about. And then also, it's like, you know, obviously lockdown has made us all invest more in leisure wear, but kind of the athleisure trend is something that we've seen over the past couple of years come to the fore. So it still is something that we can do. So this is very much kind of inspired probably by your traditional kind of golf shirt almost. What I like about this is the zip runs all the way down. It's obviously the simple color, but it's very clever. We were talking about people who have gained a few pounds. When you look at where the lines are on this, it's drawing the eye up to the face and then right down the middle of the body. So if you feel that you're a bit puffier than you were before, this is a great kind of visual distraction to make you look slimmer.
Brilliant. Now, unfortunately, one of the really awful things about lockdown is that people have lost their jobs, and the workplace is opening up again and people are going for interviews. Joey, what should someone wear for an interview? Can you give us some top tips?
So for me, it's getting from that kind of loungewear we've been working at home. Some people have not been working at home, so they've just been sitting there in the tracksuit. So I want something that's comfortable, but still looks cool, and you can wear it with your everyday stuff. So people have lost their jobs. They haven't got money just to go and buy a suit for, an interview. So I've gone for a little bit of a play on some of the stuff. So I've gone for like this kind of 70s. You can't really see the colour, but it's like a camel colour. This is like a really lightweight, satiny kind of a matte satin. And then I've gone for just a plain, almost like a sheer shirt, just to go on it, just so when you're sitting at your desk or your laptop, it still looks smart, but you're comfortable because it's got a lot of stretch in it and it's comfortable. So it's almost like a bit of the tracksuit kind of element to it. I've also gone for a little bit of a check, play with some prints, and I've just done it with a little white t-shirt underneath. You can also wear it with a shirt or something a little bit smarter, like if you're going into a little bit, we've got cold weather at the moment, like a thin polo shirt. But for me, I would stick to kind of the 70s muted sort of colours. So it's not distracting on screen. It's about you. And then the last one I've gone for is like a little sleeveless number, just a little sleeveless jacket, which you can wear with a short sleeve shirt, a t-shirt, and then just team it up with cool accessories. If you're going to go out or you've got an interview or you're going back to work, you can put on some nice little tortoiseshell sunglasses. I've even got this fun little visor, which is like a straw visor, which I absolutely love for people who are going to work or they're going out after work or they've got a meeting. So I kind of like that play on the kind of 70s workwear with shirts and collars. I just think keep it simple, be comfortable. Don't worry if it's oversized, you're sitting down and just, that's it. Comfort and looking smart, that's it.
Brilliant. So we've also had some questions in about people who have Zoom interviews. What do you wear to a Zoom interview? Which is really tricky because that's the first impression they're going to get of you. So I think it really, really does depend on what the interview is for. But as a general rule of thumb, I think people might want to go sort of like present themselves in a slightly corporate smart manner, but there is real risk of you looking pretty dull sat there in a black and white. So I think a shirt is always a really good idea for a man or a woman, but a shirt that's just got a little bit of, who used the word earlier, zhuzhy, a zhuzhy shirt.
I love a zhuzh.
Yeah, exactly. We want a zhuzhy shirt. We want a shirt with jazz hands. So just something that's not going to offend. You don't want them to be focused solely on your outfit, but you want them to look, okay, you want to give the impression of being smart, but at the same time, you are fun, you are light, you are a happy person. And I think as we've discussed in this, color definitely gives the impression or makes you feel and look a happier person. So I think about color, I think about playing it slightly safe, but maybe color instead of something massively flamboyant. Right, we are now racing through these, and we've left with the most exciting one, June the 21st. Let's assume that we are all going to be let out, okay? The biggest party ever with maybe no restrictions. Joey, what should we be wearing? What will you be wearing? Well, this isn't what you're wearing. What would you be wearing?
I'm going full. I'm seeing it as if it's New Year's Eve. We've missed New Year's Eve just gone. So I feel like this is going to be glam. So my mood board for my June 21st and for people is Studio 54, because it was all about the look, the glam, and I feel like we've all been drab. This is the time. See it like a costume party, dress up. So I've gone for like full on. I've got a mood board as well, but I've gone full sequins, glitz and glam. I've even gone for this like cool little clutch bag that's like a $10,000 bill. I want girls to literally go crazy and have fun with colors. Literally see it as you're going back to Studio 54, glamour, lots of fun. If you're going out for dinner, still go for a little bit of color, like, you know, what me and Nana were saying earlier. But like, I've got this really nice crop 60s kind of, it's like a mint green suit. And then I've just added this really lovely pink and green check scarf just to put around if you're going out for dinner. Don't need to wear anything else underneath it. But for me, I want to see sequins. I want to see glitter. I want to see it like a summer New Year, almost like a festival, a party. We have been locked up in our homes as prisoners. Get the sequins out. It's got to look like drag race at the end of the day. If you don't look drag, go home.
Joey, are you going to bring them? Are you going to be wearing sequins?
I will probably wear an embellishment of some sort. I'm going to go full out. I'll probably wear a hat. I wear Larry clothes all the time and print, but I'm going to go very 70s with my style because I just love that whole disco era. And I hope we need some nostalgia, Kat. We've been literally locked up and I feel like we need to invent our new rules and just have a little bit of fun. I think people are going to come out of this and be like, almost like, just don't care anymore. And I feel like that's what we need to do, is just don't care. Go out for you, dress for you, wear the colours for you.
Right. Nana, this is probably quite a hard question for you because you dressed up all through lockdown. Nana, what on earth are you going to wear? How are you going to top the heels, the colour, everything that you had glam going on during lockdown? The nails. Oh my Lord, I remember your nails.
The nails, they're back, thank gosh, lots of colour. I've got a really great outfit. It's not what I'm personally wearing. I can tell you about what I'm wearing in a second. But I love this dress as a reintroduction to party and society. Kind of got this cutout detail on the sides here, but it's a massive trend for kind of like spring, summer. So show a bit of skin, puff sleeve detail. Again, if you want to kind of hide your arms, and love the colour. Personally, what I'm going to wear, I have got a very nice tie-dye outfit with some very, very high bright orange heels that is already planned for June the 21st, and I cannot wait to wear it.
Right, I think I need to see this. Right, Darren, up next, what will you be wearing, or what should we be wearing?
Well, I think, especially for men, an easy way to kind of up your style game is to choose one color palette and then to wear it head to toe. So for instance, I'm thinking, should the weather permit, I'll be wearing a pair of white chinos, tapered below the knee to give them that shape, a white Cuban collar shirt, and then maybe even a white denim jacket over it. Just literally, I'm going to feel like the resurrection. Or, choose a color that you want. I'm loving, I wouldn't necessarily wear like hot pink head to toe, but actually I probably would. I have a pale pink suit, double-breasted suit, but wear it relaxed with like a white vest underneath and then a pair of trainers. So I think for guys, and then the opposite side of the things, if you love print, is like go for like a geometric print shirt and then wear it with, again, some white jeans or kind of military green. That's another thing I'm loving at the moment. But I think, rule of thumb, especially for guys, because it can be trickier. especially if your shape has changed and you've gained weight. Think of one color palette and tonal dress.
Brilliant, genius suggestions. So we have had a question in from the audience. What is the most fashionable skirt shape? Nana, let's go to you on this one. What is fashionable now? Midi or mini, maxi, mid-axi? Does it matter?
Oh my gosh, I don't think it actually matters at the moment. All of those skirts I have, like skirt lengths, I should say, I have bought during lockdown. Huge fan of the midi, like really wearable, kind of like during the day. I've got lots of minis that I can't necessarily say I've worn, but they're ready to be worn post kind of June 21st, and now that we're allowed to eat inside. But if I pull up this one that I had earlier, this is a leather midi skirt from Warehouse. So I think the high street has got a great selection of all lengths. My biggest tip would be kind of find out what works for you and what you're most comfortable in. But yeah, I'm a fan of midi, mini, maxi, all of it.
I would completely agree. I would definitely say that actually the joy of fashion at the minute is that there really are no rules. I really think it's all about down to your personal style, which is great because as I said earlier, it's very much about finding the style that works for you. So if that is a midi skirt, knock yourself out. If it is a midi skirt, if it's a mini skirt, if it's a full skirt, a straight skirt, a pencil skirt, a pleated skirt, a maxi skirt, there is a skirt for everybody. If you love it, you can wear it. And also the great thing is, go back into your wardrobe and see what you've got. You will have things, I can guarantee you, that you've worn 18 months ago that you've forgotten about. We will, leading us very, very neatly on actually to the dodgy purchases that we may have made during lockdown. So I have, I've got a couple actually, but I'm going to show you one because I don't even know. Well, I do sort of know what I was thinking, but I don't know what I was thinking. Red cowboy boots.
I love them.
I love them too. They're very you, Cass.
Yeah. I don't hate those at all.
I love them, Kat. You look great in a cowboy boot.
But I've not been wearing, I haven't worn anything but trainers and and I know I will love them, but I bought them and they have sat in my wardrobe and they've just stared at me like some awful sort of, wear me. And I'm like, I don't want to wear you actually. I just bought them on a whim and it was very terrible. And the other thing that I wore, and this is in fact going to be, I'm going to assume by come June the 21st, it's going to be still rubbish weather. Again, what was I thinking when I ordered this? It is a dress from Brigadoon. Can you see it? I don't think you can actually see the level of flounciness of this blue tartan dress.
I don't think you've got anything on one of the things that I bought, Kat.
Well, hang on a minute, but what I am going to do, so here's the thing, I think, if you bought something and you think, what was I doing? Either sell it, okay? Either just sell it, or what I did, so I thought I am not selling this because I am going to make this work. I'm going to wear it back to front.
Ah, clever.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
What a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So actually, the right dresses don't work for me. I don't know what I was thinking. And it's too big. I've got absolutely no boobs. It looks awful on me. It's all gapey. But the other way round, back to front. So why should we be wearing these? The cowboy boots, the jury is still out. I'm not going to lie. Joey, what did you buy?
I made a mistake and got conned by one of those online adverts. So I saw this lovely wool coat and it had this kind of Aztec-y print on it. And I loved it. It was beautiful. It had like sort of stripes and these squares on it. It was really lovely. I thought, right, it's a statement jacket for like autumn, winter that I was going in. And it turned up. And all I can say is it's like felt. Cost me £35 for a piece of felt. And it looks like one of those old lady sort of jackets that they wear when they go down the market. And I will not wear it.
It's fleece, isn't it? Is it a
No,
fleece?
babe, it is like, it's supposed to be like wool, but it is like a felt. It's like a felt. I probably will give it to some kids to cut up and make some felt puppets or something,
It's
because
the,
it is.
it's the lack of Aztec print for me that
Yeah.
really,
Does that look like an Aztec print to you guys? So that will be going to help someone else, I think, because I ain't wearing it. I was so upset I cried. Because I was told I should know better. I'm a stylist. I should never be. But I saw it and I thought, God, I'm going to try it. It's the first time I bought off of this company. Never again.
Brilliant. Well, look, speaking of helping people, very, very, very quickly, Claire wants to know, where is your dress from, Nana? I do know, but you can tell her where it's from.
my dress is from ASOS. Unfortunately, it is very old. That's one of the things that I did during lockdown, was lots of wardrobe cleanses. And like you said, Kat, you kind of rediscover outfits that you'd forgotten you even owned. So yeah, it's from ASOS, but yeah, they have lots of similar ones on there, or Rixo as well, another really good dress brand to look at.
Well, I remember that dress very well because it is in fact a wrap dress, and I thought I absolutely loved it. It's very, very Rixo in style, and I bought it and tried it on, and it looked like a bag of spanners on me because I have no boobs. So therefore, I obviously go and buy another one. What a twit. Emma says, I love wearing heels to the office and feel like I look better when I do. However, wearing heels after lockdown, her feet are killing her. Any tips to save the feet? Go on, Nana, we've come to you.
I know, sorry, me again. Okay, you still love wearing heels. Really big trend at the moment are kind of like block heels or kitten heels. So why not kind of build up your heel stamina or heel height? Just don't go for the kind of like 4 or 5 inches straight off the bat.
My God, I'm ever going to be wearing them. I can't even imagine putting them on my feet anymore.
But yeah, Zara have got some really amazing kind of like kitten heel mules in at the moment that I would really highly recommend.
Brilliant.
Just go for a shorter heel. It's so much easier to walk in, and a change of shoes is always good if you're at the office.
Let's have a look at those. Let's look at those ones again, Joey.
So it's like a block heel, comfortable, something like that. You know, it's good for summer, and you can wear it to go out in a restaurant. I don't think people are going to be fussy about going out, except for Nana, because she's basically literally like she is heels. So, but I think a lot of people, unless if they're going to work, just like Nana said, ease yourself into it. Like when you first ever went out in heels, and practice walking up and down stairs. It's a good tip.
Oh, do you know the other thing I would say as well? I think if you are wearing heels and you are looking at buying a new pair of shoes, don't think about buying them. I know those ones, Joe, were they for one of your wedding outfits?
They were for the studio. They were actually for the Studio 54 going out clubbing. So it's not, you know, you're dancing. So you don't want to be, sometimes women don't want to be going out, or men or anyone don't want to go out in a heel that's too high. So, and it's comfortable because it's thick. So it's a play on sort of almost like the wedge without it being a wedge.
I think the joy of things like that, though, is that you know what, you can wear them again and again and again. So they will look amazing with a pair of jeans. They will look amazing with a midi skirt. They will go with loads and loads of things. So I think when you're buying something new, it's always really important to think about how, think about sustainability. How often are you going to be able to wear them? Now, if we're going to look forward to autumn, winter, I know. But Darren, what are the trends going to be for menswear in autumn, winter, so people can start thinking about buying things for their spring, summer wardrobe that they will get more wear out of come the autumn, winter? What are your top tips, Darren?
Well, actually, it ties into the last question, because I was thinking about the heels, and I was thinking like a Cuban heel is really good. But that, we're seeing a big trend for kind of Western inspired pieces, which you're a big fan of, actually, those boots. Yeah, I mean, that's coming through strongly in menswear. And also, 70s inspired. So if you think of the color palette, it's kind of like those browns, those tans, those kind of smoky colors. And actually, to give you an idea of a way that you can get in on that for guys, I mean, something like this. This is obviously kind of a tobacco suede jacket. It really plays up those those Western vibes, but without looking like you've just stepped out of a cowboy movie, you know? Really nice detailing here, keeping it contemporary. It's like the zip pockets on both sides, and then that simple kind of club collar here. This is a nice jacket. It's structured. So I'd probably wear this with, you know, what I'll probably wear this with come autumn, winter is a pair of white jeans, because white jeans can be worn all year round. Some guys think that you just keep them for summertime. And then again, it's not quite 70s, but it's those color tones as well. Something like this, really simple shirt. This is like, honestly, shirts like this are brilliant to have in your wardrobe, because regardless of what occasion comes up at the last minute, they're structured, they're simple, but they're not plain. You know, the piping here again is a great one for giving shape.
Do you know what? The joy of that actually is that it looks really, both those pieces look really vintage. And actually, that is such a great way to shop now. I think now that's probably what I am, no, it is what I am most looking forward to getting back out, and is getting into those vintage shops, because you suddenly have every sustainable box ticked. You have something that is completely unique, tick. You have something that is also actually normally really affordable as well. But speaking about sustainable brands, another question we've got from the audience, Joey, what would your where would you go for some sustainable fashion brands? Can you recommend any?
I would keep going to things like, I shop in charity shops, I go to boot sales, you know, there's I go to clothes swap parties, things like that, where you go meet up with all your girls or guys, and then you just sit there. I think there's so many sustainable brands out there who are going down the kind of route of 100% sustainability, but I don't think they're ever going to be 100%, except for if you go for something like you saying, like the vintage shops, boot sales. And also the thing about these charity shops, boot sales and the vintage shops, they support people who maybe have lost their jobs during lockdown. eBay, like I've been on selling bits on eBay and stuff like that. And I think the best way, if you want to be environmentally friendly, is go to the vintage shops, go to boot sales, go to charity shops. Charity shops, guys, we've been locked in. Charity shops have been closed for a year. Think of everyone throwing out during the first lockdown. There's going to be some great stuff. Get to Kensington,
Fine.
to Oxfam.
I've done a lot. I've done a lot of charity like giveaways. I did so many wardrobe cleanses during lockdown. So if anyone lives in East London, Dalston Way, there's a lot of my stuff there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like charity shops are going to be literally like the new brands, because there's going to be so much stuff in them that people have given up. I gave about 4 black sacks of clothes where I lost the weight and put the bloody weight back on, but now luckily oversized. Thank God for oversized. But yeah, charity shops, help the charities, help local businesses, swap parties, see your friends, and yeah, just that's what I would do personally.
I think charity shops are a great one, but for some people who maybe prefer to shop online or feel overwhelmed in charity shops, there's also, you know, some great developments online in terms of sustainability. If you're into designer wear, there's a great website called Vestiaire, where you can buy and sell really nice clothes that have been authenticated. There's also, you know, websites like Zalando. They've now launched their kind of repurchase scheme. So if you've bought something from them and you've worn it a few times and decided, actually, I'm probably done with this, they will buy it back off you and then sell it on their secondhand marketplace. So you don't, in that sense, you don't even have to deal with like individuals. So I think there are great opportunities for circular fashion and sustainability.
Brilliant. There are lots of other ones. Vintage is a really good one. Depop is a really good one. Good old eBay. They're amazing. Right. People are wanting to know where the cowboy boots are from. They're from a company called Golden Goose. Okay. And I bought them in the sale. They are ridiculously expensive, but I will have them forever. And I do have a brown pair that I have worn for years. But I will wear them come the winter. I absolutely.
I love how you're now justifying them. You were like, I don't know what I'm doing. They just stare at me. I'm going to get rid of them. They were really expensive. I'm going to keep them.
I know. Once I'm out and about, I will love them. They will never be off my feet. Anyway, look, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I know you will have enjoyed it as much as I did. So thank you to everybody out there for joining us today. And a couple of thank yous before we go. Thank you so much to Rachel. I'm going to read this because I don't want to miss anybody out. Thank you so much to Rachel Pinkney for producing. Thank you to Badger and Coombs for technical support. And of course, thank you so much to Darren, Joey and Nana. I would have got that bit right, for joining us. And don't forget, there are lots of other fantastic events happening across the week as part of Wellbeing Live, and lots of resources too on the website for people who are suffering. Thank you very much, guys, and have a great afternoon.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.